Welcome to the Basquatch Hunter, Fish Out of Water.
Fish on!
We share our love for fishing with our guests, and then we show off what they do, making us both a fish out of water. A Basquatch isn't just a big fish, it's an elusive adventure you have yet to take. In this show, we all chased our dreams, but now we will chase our Basquatch.
You're watching the Basquatch Hunter, Fish Out of Water.
We're about to hit the water in the kayaks with Adam Fenton from Great Lakes Composites. Hopefully today's a great day of fishing, but I know we'll have a lot of fun either way. Let's go hit the water.
Hey guys, it's Mike McKinstry, host of the Basquatch Hunter, Fish Out of Water.
I'm Adam Fenton, CEO of National Composites.
So we're out here with Adam today. We're gonna take him out kayak fishing, but then we're gonna show you something really cool that they do at National Composites too. Now you fished before, right?
I have.
But you've never fished out of a kayak yet.
I have not.
So a little bit of a new experience, but after we do the kayaks, Adam's gonna take me on something he's a little bit more familiar with to fish out of too. So stay tuned for some more fun. And you excited?
Absolutely, let's go.
Let's go hit the water. So normally in this show, every episode before this one, my camera guys are used to filming out of the feel-free kayaks, but today they're filming out of the new Boka E-Boat from Boka Marine. This is one of the great things they do at National Composites.
National Composites is actually comprised of 5 different production facilities. The Boka E-Boat is produced here in Owasso, Michigan. We are a fiberglass molder for everybody from John Deere to GE Healthcare, but today we're focused on our proprietary E-Boat line, which is Boka Marine.
And don't worry guys, we're gonna be fishing out of this thing later in the episode and show you all the awesome features and how fishable this boat really is. So stay tuned at the end of this for more.
So I was pretty excited showing up. I watched some of the episodes with Mike and look forward to getting on the water and see what happens. Pretty surprised on how quick you can move in these kayaks. They're really maneuverable.
Today we're fishing a public lake. I love fishing this lake. It's a lake that I grew up on. Unfortunately, a lot of weeds on this lake, so we're catching a whole lot of them today. Oh, is that a fish? Nope, that was weeds.
Oh, well, it's very clear there was a weed this time. Keeps on feeling like it's pulling back on me, but it's obviously is not. Yeah, so it started off a little bit slow, probably a good 30, 40 casts with nothing except for a couple close calls on some weeds.
I swear those weeds were fighting back too. We're catching weeds all day, but I finally got a weed that pulled back a little bit and I got my first bass.
No way.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's a largemouth bass too. It wasn't a huge bass, but it fought like it was a monster. Nice little guy. There we go. All right. We got our first fish of the day, a nice little largemouth bass. So I caught this fish on a brand new rod and reel setup. This is the new FX Custom Rods Extreme Carbon Series. These retail for like 109 bucks, but they feel like a $500 rod, and I felt every bit of that fish. Not quite the Basquatch that we're looking for, but definitely a good start. Not a bad fish at all. First fish of the day. Finally, something fought back. It wasn't weeds anymore, so now we got to get Adam on his first fish.
Even though it started slow, Mike gave me hope because he ended up landing the first fish, and then it was game on.
I got my first fish, feeling really good. I look over, Adam caught more weeds.
Oh, gosh darn. All right. Nope, just another weed.
Well, at least you know this rod and reel works.
Yeah, my whole tactic of just messing it up on purpose, getting you out of the water for 10 minutes or so didn't work out. These poles are so good and sensitive that I had to get used to casting a little bit, but then once I got the hang of it, there was one spot that looked to be good.
Right where that shade's at. So right on that drop off. So Adam saw a shadow over by the dock over here and he called it. He said, that looks like a good spot. And I said, yeah, it does. Sure enough, he caught his first fish. Fish on.
There we go. We called out the spot right from the get-go. So I've caught fish before, but this was my first largemouth in a kayak, and I can definitely say it's a different experience than a traditional boat. And I think a lot of it is just being that close to the water. There we go.
Yes, yes. Now I don't feel bad.
Heck yeah, that is awesome.
It's always fun and exciting to see these guests light up and get their first fish in a kayak. Not a monster, but you still got a bass. Way to go, Adam.
He's good to go.
That's a good fish.
The Basquatch Hunter Fish Out of Water is brought to you by AmeriGas Propane, Yak Attack, DMF Bait Co., FX Custom Rods, Feel Free Kayaks, Zotford and Deals in the D.com, Berkeley Fishing, Abu Garcia. Produced by Basquatch Productions.
So I have to ask, from your normal day-to-day job compared to this, how does it compare?
I absolutely love what I do, but I'll take this any day of the week for sure.
I heard that you had quite the athletic background.
Yeah, a unique one. I played football as a fullback at Central Michigan for 4 years. NFL wasn't in my future, but actually ended up on the U.S. bobsled team for a year. So had a really fun experience doing that. Football, bobsled, and kayak fishing. That's the progression I'm gonna be following.
What inspired the Boka E-Boat?
So I've always been passionate about water. I live on a small 60-acre lake, and it was one of those things that there wasn't really the justification to spend huge money on a large name brand pontoon boat. Started talking about the idea, and a napkin sketch about a week later became into reality.
Like what something as mobile and small as a kayak is versus what a big pontoon boat is. You kind of put those two together.
I commonly refer to it as the golf cart of the water.
Just something nice and easy you can jump in and go.
Yeah.
Like a golf cart. That's a perfect example. I like that. Here we go. Look at that, dancing for us. I threw an awesome cast right into this dock. It was exactly what I wanted it to be, and there was a fish there waiting for me. Look at that Berkeley little general bait right there. Man, that's an aggressive largemouth bass. We're having a lot of luck today in the shade and underneath structure because the sun's coming in and out all day. So with these water temps dropping, these fish are ready for our little baits. Tell you what, it feels really good to catch more fish than someone who did like professional bobsledding. Talking a little bit of trash here, so I'm really hoping I get the next fish, but we're gonna go ahead and call it. Whoever gets the next fish wins the kayak segment.
I got a feeling that right on the backside of this pine tree in that shade is gonna be the money spot. End up seeing another shaded spot, this time right underneath the pine tree.
There.
Oh, fish on,
Fish
let's
on.
go. I shouldn't, oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, it's a fish.
Was definitely still getting used to the feel of jigging off the ground, but then next thing I know, it was pretty clear this one was a fish and not a weed. Oh.
You know what? Adam might have won the kayak segment now.
There we go. Not too shabby.
That's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, look at that.
Adam got the last fish, so Adam wins, but I hope I can redeem myself in the next segment, and hopefully once we get in the boats, I can outdo him. That's a beautiful fish. All right, well, kayak fishing was a lot of fun. We both caught some fish. What'd you think?
Absolutely, 10 out of 10, loved it.
A lot nicer than you thought it was gonna be?
Yeah, these things are cozy.
Now you're gonna start getting into one, aren't you?
I know.
This part was great, but now we're gonna go in your world, so what are we doing next?
We're gonna hit the factory, see how the Boka boats are made, and then go catch some fish out of them.
I can't wait, man, let's go.
Absolutely. I had an awesome day fishing, and I'm really excited to show Mike around the plant and see how these boats are made.
We're here at Great Lakes Composites in Owasso, Michigan, and I'm really excited to see how these boats are made and all the work that goes into them.
Great Lakes Composite is located in Owasso, Michigan. We have 70 employees. We have 100,000 square foot of production space. It gives us a wide range of space to be able to produce what is needed for all of our customers. So composites, you get the strength and cosmetics as steel, but at a lightweight, at a little more affordable cost than steel.
Walking around this place, it is massive. They do so much more than just marine products and boats and paddle boats. It's really interesting to see all the work that goes into every piece here and all the different industries that use composites. We're here at Great Lakes Composites. I'm here with Brandon Craven, the operations manager, and he's going to show us how these boats are made and all the work that goes into them. So what's the first step of making these boats?
So the first step of making the boats is running through the gel coat process. And then once the gel coat's done, it goes on to the molding process.
All right, well, I'm excited for the tour to see how they're all made.
So right now they're going through and chopping the glass and resin onto the mold itself. So how the process works is they'll chop it up to a specific mill thickness.
It's pretty interesting to see literally strips of glass coming out of a spray gun and watch it get laid down. This is definitely an art form, and it's really cool to watch.
So once he's done chopping that out, the operators will go through and roll out that glass to get it nice and compacted to the gel coat. Okay. And what that does is ensure we get good adhesion through the curing process. So once the part's molded, it comes out of the molding area and goes to our demolding area. So right here, we're at the demolding station. After the molding process, it comes out here, gets put underneath the heat, and the heat helps force cure that. And once it's cured out, we take a barcode reading, and then we move it under the gantry and pull it out of the tool.
So all the pieces of the boats and everything else you guys do here, all the composites all go through the same process?
Yes, it does.
Looks like a lot of fun.
It does.
It's like a big adult-sized Lego set.
Yeah, basically. So this here is our latest addition, is our trim cell robot.
There's a full-size robot in this place. It's like the size of my living room. Not only do they have hard work with manual labor with people's hands, but they also have huge robots that help with precise work when there's less tolerance available. It's a pretty cool factory.
In our trimming, we have our robotic trim. That's good for smooth, straight lines that gets trimmed out. It does have capabilities of getting into tight areas, but it is limited on what it can do. So it kind of takes the manual process out of trimming up these parts.
Nice. A little more consistent, I'm assuming?
A lot more consistent. So over in this area is where we do our assembling and wiring and tubing portion. So if you want to help me throw a tube on this.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these right here?
One of these right here. Right now we're installing one of the tunes on the bottom of the swan. Mike's gonna give me a hand and help me set that up. Then we're gonna flip it and set it right on top.
All the way in?
Yep.
It's a big tune.
It is a big tune. Once we add the tubes to the boat, over here is where we do the assembly of the hardware and all the pedals and rudders. We use the crane to lift it up just to save some weight, and everybody's back over here to help them out. They'll roll it over, drill it out, and start assembling.
So you can tell all these workers have a lot of pride in their work. When a good product comes out of here, it starts with good people doing good jobs.
After all of the processes are completed, we do our final inspection, pressure test the tubes, make sure there's no leaks or any issues. Once we get the quality sign off on it, ready to go right to the water and enjoy. So this is one of our finished boats ready for the water. This is a Swan, not the one that you guys will have on, but it's kind of an example of what we have.
You know, it would be funny to fish out of this thing and chase some of the swans around and see how they react.
They might leave you alone with one of these.
I was gonna say, usually the swans come after us in kayaks, but this one I think I'd be like the alpha swan.
Right, be scared of you.
All right, let's go check out this Boka boat we're gonna be using.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
The Boka boat's unique in its own way as far as, lightweight, versatile, completely customizable, and it's capable of going on the lakes where you can't have gas motors on. We're outside looking at some of the Boka boats and paddle wheeler boats that are going to our customers for sales.
So these are the fully finished boats right here. So this is what we're gonna be fishing out of.
Fully finished, that's what you'll be fishing out of.
All right, I'm excited to see these things on the water. Now, do you think this thing will catch more fish than the swans and the dragons and everything?
Yeah, I would think so. Swan and dragon's a little out of the norm in the water.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, so is this, do you call it a pontoon? Do you call it, is it just a Boka boat? It's like the golf cart of the water.
That it is. You've seen how the Boka boat is produced. Adam and Mike will be taking that out to the water and go fishing and see how it compares to the kayaks.
Huge thank you to Brandon and everyone at Great Lakes Composites for letting me in their door and showing me how they do the job all day. They definitely start out with high quality products and high quality employees and high quality work. Now I need to get out in these Boka boats and see how we can catch some high quality fish in them.
The Basquatch Hunter will be right back. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss what's next.
So this is the Boka E-Boat. It's 5 feet wide by 10 feet long, weighing right about 550 pounds. So a perfect way to get out on the water with the family. All of the Boka E-Boats are made here in the USA and actually right here in my home state of Michigan.
All right, came out on these Boka E-Boats and I didn't know what to expect because it's a lot bigger than a kayak, but I'm not gonna lie, this is like a crossover hybrid between like what a kayak can do and what a boat can do, and puts them both together and does like kind of the best of both.
So what got me into National Composites is really I just love the aspect of growth. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, and to be able to build products like this here, providing American jobs, every day showing up to work, you see the passion on everyone's face. That's what keeps me showing up every day. After long weeks of travel or a hard day of work, it's always awesome to be able to come home and go out on a boat that we've created in our own plants and really just let off some steam.
Fishing out of this boat, first thing, it's comfortable. There's a lot of room. I really like how everything's laid out too. You have the steering, you have the controls. You can kind of sit in the captain's chair and just have a really good time.
Being only 5 feet wide and 10 feet long, they're actually quite spacious on the inside.
Yeah, I feel like on the outside they look like they're really small, but once you get in it, like there's a lot of room in this thing.
Oh yeah, I've comfortably fit 4 of my old teammates in one of these boats around my lake. Now we just need to catch a fish.
Yeah, now we gotta let the fish see these boats. A lot of weeds today, a whole lot of weeds.
Kayak fishing, definitely right down next to the water. This definitely sit up quite a bit higher, have a little bit more space to maneuver around, but I'd say there's really nowhere that we haven't been able to get into with this boat versus the kayak.
So this is how I like fishing right here. Nice, slow cruising speed, just fast enough to go from spot to spot. And then I just like fan cast each spot as I come up to it and stay moving. This boat's great for that.
Been out here fishing for a little bit on the Boka boats. It's definitely slowed down a little bit.
We haven't caught a fish yet, but this boat's incredibly spacious, and this boat's got everything from exterior lighting that I can change the colors of, navigation lights, stern lights, interior lighting. It's got a bimini top so I can get it in the shade or be covered from rain. It's got a built-in cooler. This boat has a lot of features from factory, but I cannot wait to get some tracks on here and some Yakatech accessories all over this boat, and it's gonna be a fishing machine. Out of all the features this boat has, which it has a lot, one of my favorite features is a Bluetooth stereo system.
Fish out of water.
I've got a fish.
We share our love for fishing with our guests, and then
This thing is so loud. It's got a great stereo system. What more do you need? All right, well, we had a great time on the water today. We had fun kayak fishing. We got to get some fish together at least.
We did.
Kayaks. Got to see the factory, see how these were made. I had no idea how much work went into these things, but then we got to enjoy the after product, which is the best part. So thanks for coming out, man, and hopefully you had a good experience.
No, I appreciate the opportunity. Definitely a couple firsts. Enjoyed the kayak and loved hitting the lake with the Boka E-Boat. So
Yeah,
appreciate the time.
Not a bad day of work, right?
No, definitely not.
Make sure you guys stay tuned and check out bokamarine.com to get all the details on these amazing E-boats and check out what they do. And feel free to check out National Composites too and see all the amazing stuff they do in all the different industries and fields. We'll put the websites right here in the credits at the end. But huge thank you to Adam and for everyone that put all the work into this boat so we can go out and get some fish. But now I'm gonna get back to fishing. Yeah, it's definitely a comfortable way to fish for sure. I could get used to this. I feel spoiled. Now we're gonna go fishing in the boats and I hope I can beat him there. Boat's leaving. Oh no, my phone.
On the next episode of the Basquatch Hunter, fish out of water.
So I brought some worms.
And I brought some chips.
It was the first guest that brought me snacks, so that's a pretty good start.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
He smells so good. Is it wrong that I kind of want to jump in a playpen full of chips? There's a lot of science behind chips.
Yes.
Don't miss the Basquatch Hunter, fish out of water, on the Discovery Channel, the Pursuit Channel, and online everywhere. BasquatchHunter.com.